Let's start analyzing the market this morning to see exactly what trend BTC will follow next. Yesterday, we had some very nice short entries at the $65,500 zone, and by this morning, it had dropped significantly to $63,500. Will BTC continue to move even further down from here? So let's dive into the analysis together. All right, hello everyone. So this morning, we can see that BTC closed the daily candle as a red candle with quite strong momentum. And up here, we can see that BTC is at a double top area. Here is a top and here is another top. This double top area, and as I previously analyzed with everyone, the probability is high that this double top won't be broken. And we can see that it went down with 3 candles and then rebounded with 2 green candles. And this morning, it closed another candle. That was a bearish candle with quite strong momentum. So given this strong bearish momentum candle right here, what can we expect to see happen next? It will continue to rebound, and the area we expect it to rebound to is 64,600. And with the bearish engulfing pattern, I often share with everyone that it tends to return to where? It looks like it tends to retest the resistance zone once again. What that means for us is that this morning, I expect BTC to have a rebound to 64,500 or 600 and then continue its downward movement. With today's outlook, since BTC closed the day with a bearish momentum candle, our overall market perspective will continue to be bearish. So we still expect that BTC could drop to a deeper zone, which is around 62,300 and even deeper down to 61,800. Given the current bearish engulfing pattern, the price usually tends to return toward the established resistance zone. Consequently, we expect that during this morning, Bitcoin will rise to 64,600, and if the upward momentum remains strong, it could even go up to 65,400. That's the peak we're looking for. After that, the price will likely begin to steadily pull back down, dropping toward the 62,500 zone and potentially even deeper to 61,800. Now let's take a look at USDTD for a bit. As for USDTD, yesterday I analyzed for everyone when it was testing the support zone at 8.25%. As we observed, our first expectation was for it to climb up toward the 8.4% and 8.5% zones. And as you can clearly see, it made a very strong upward movement up to the 8.5% zone. Because USDTD moved up to 8.5%, BTC dropped down to 63,500. And today we can see that this USDTD closed with a bullish engulfing candle at the double bottom support zone, which is quite a strong support area on the daily candle. So with a high probability, we will see that this morning USDTD will retrace to the 8.4% zone. Then it will continue to rise to the 8.6% and 8.7% zones. If USDTD pulls back down to this 8.4% level, then our BTC will likely climb up towards 64,500. And if it retraces further to the even lower support zone, then BTC could potentially rebound to 65,500. So let's adapt to the situation as it unfolds. So what is our outlook for this morning? That is to say, we still continue to maintain a bearish outlook. And the specific zones where we expect to short are around 64,500 and 65,000. This is because USDTD could potentially retrace somewhere to 8.4% or even deeper to 8.3%. Therefore, on the daily candle, our current market outlook is that we expect to open a short position for BTC within the price range of the 64,500 level and the 65,000 zones. If the momentum is strong, we will continue to observe on this H4 time frame. If the retracement momentum is strong, it could completely retest this wick, which is 65,500 everyone. So this morning, we need to observe to see where we should enter. Here on the H4 time frame, it's forming a lower high structure, right? It's still showing a lower high structure here. So we expect its next high to retrace somewhere around 65,000, right? Because the daily candle is a strong bearish candle, so a retracement up there is normal. On the daily chart, when it closes with a strong bearish candle, there's a 70% chance it will go up to retest the resistance zone. usually it will move up to the middle of the candle in our expected zone of 64,500. And if there's strong momentum, it could even reach 65,500. There's a 30% chance it will go down when a strong bearish candle closes. This is the ratio I've observed, meaning out of about 10 trades. When a strong bearish candle forms, I've seen that about 7 out of 10 times. It goes back to test the support zone, and only 3 times does it continue to drop from there. So this morning, I still expect that we can get a short order at the 64,500 zone. And my second order is somewhere around 65,800. And we will set our stop loss at 67,000. Is that clear? So clearly, the outlook is a strong bearish candle with distinct red momentum dominating, meaning the red candles are clearly prevailing. So here we will continue to look for short selling opportunities. Because USDT has formed a strong bullish candle, similar to how BTC has formed a strong bearish candle. USDT might retest the wick areas around 8.4% and even deeper, down to 8.3%. As long as it rises and returns to 8.4%, BTC will bounce back. That is the 64,500 zone. But if USDT drops back to 8.3%, then BTC could rise to 65,500 or even up to 65,800. Therefore, our outlook this morning is still a limited short view. Is that clear? And at which point will we short? Now, let's continue analyzing the data we have here. Looking here on the 4-hour time frame, it is still clearly in a lower high market structure. And on the H4 chart, USDT still hasn't formed what we would call a higher high right here. This is the top, right? This is the bottom. But if this isn't a top yet, it can't be called a bottom. To be a top, it must move up to the 8.6% level area. It must be higher than this top. Here, we can see that on the H4 time frame, what is USDT facing? It's facing a resistance right here. An area with 2 tops, 3 tops, 1 top, 2 tops, 3 tops. This is the 4th top. This is the price lock. And if you drag it over here, there are a whole series more. So this is a strong enough resistance zone for USDT. And we have to observe on the H1 time frame to see if it can break through. If it can break through this top area, we can see that USDT has quite a lot of tops, right? And if it manages to break through, it will continue to rise to 8.6 and 8.7%. But if it can't break through here, it will immediately reverse direction. It will turn back to retest this top 8.4% and 8.3% right at this bottom. So these are also the things that I am expecting. That means BTC is forming a bullish engulfing pattern on the daily candle. So I still expect that this area won't be broken yet, and it will pull back somewhere around 8.4% and drop to this 8.3% bottom from 8.25 to 8.3%. So where exactly should we be looking to catch the next move on BTC? Our primary strategy is that we will look to continue shorting BTC. To manage your risk, you can split your entry into 2 separate orders, with one right here at this bottom area. It could be 64.7. Do you understand? And the second order, we will place right at this top area, or around 65,500 to 65,800. But should we go long? No, we won't go long. Why? Because the daily candle for BTC is a bearish engulfing candle, so the trend is still downward. And we can see that on the H1 or H4 time frame, what kind of structure is BTC forming? Lower highs, right? Since it's forming lower highs, be cautious. No, we can't go long, right? But if it retraces upward, we'll look to short. Because right here, there's a 70% chance it will go up and a 30% chance it will go straight down. So we won't go long. Instead, we'll wait. If it retraces upward, then we'll short. If it goes straight down, then we'll skip this trade. Usually when BTC closes with a bearish engulfing candle, out of 10 trades, I see that 7 times it will go up and 3 times it will go straight down from there. To have a high win rate in this situation, we have to wait to catch it when BTC retraces up to 64,700. For the first order, we'll buy right there at this bottom. For the second order, we'll buy in the 65,500 to 65,700 range, and we have to set a stop loss above the 67,000 area. That's the outlook for this morning. So to reiterate, if we open a long position at this moment, it's not reasonable because it's currently in a structure where the highs are getting lower. So opening a long position right away isn't reasonable. And with the daily candle closing as a bearish engulfing, it's even less advisable to open a long position. To achieve the best win rate, we need to wait for a retracement upwards before opening short positions. Because this morning's outlook is a short view, for shorts we will short in the 64.5 to 64.7 zone. The second order is from 65.5 to 65.7. If it retraces upwards, then we will open a position. If it doesn't retrace, we'll skip this trade. And if the short order is triggered, where do we take profit? We will take profit at the 63.5 zone and the 62 zone. Here, 62.7, 62.8, and so on. That is my analysis for this morning. If you find this helpful, please subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to receive my videos every day. Goodbye, everyone.